The world never asked permission before throwing people into hard moments. 1 minute you're strolling through the calm, and the next you're tossed into a place where hunger sharpens the edges of reality. But here's the hook that matters. Survival isn't about brute strength. It's about memory. It's about knowing what to reach for when everything else vanishes. Soldiers in World War II learned this fast. Explorers before them learned it the hard way. And today you'll learn it the smart way. Because the planet hides food in the strangest, simplest places. Food you can find from the blistered desert dunes to the damp edges of a northern forest. Let's walk straight into the good stuff. 3 food sources you can find almost anywhere on Earth, no matter where fate drops you. If the Earth has a pantry, trees are the shelves that never run empty. People tend to look at forests like walls of wood, but those same trees carry edible treasures in plain sight. Bark, leaves, sap, each part offers something that your body can convert to fuel. Inner bark from many tree species has been used as emergency nutrition for centuries. Soldiers stuck behind enemy lines in World War II stripped the inner layer of pine, birch and spruce. They dried it, ground it, boiled it, ate it raw when there was no fire. Is it gourmet? No. Does it work? Absolutely. That thin layer is rich in starches, and starch is energy. Young leaves from certain common trees, like many species of birch and beech, can be eaten in moderation. They're tender early in the season, but still useful later on, especially when boiled. Even the needles of conifer trees, especially pine, can be steeped into a tea that offers vitamin C. Explorers in the Arctic swore by this simple brew when scurvy creeped in. And then there's sap. Sweet, hidden and dependable. Tap the right tree and you get liquid fuel. Indigenous groups and later frontier settlers survived harsh winters thanks to the glucose-rich lifeblood of maples and birches. All you need is a cut in the bark, a container and time. Wherever you stand, forest, mountain cold, north or mild south, trees are more than scenery. They're slow-moving giants offering quiet help. Once you learn what they give, the landscape starts looking less like a threat and more like a supply line. This one makes some people wrinkle their face. But survival favors the practical, not the picky. Insects are everywhere. North, south, dry, wet, forest, desert, coast, city, abandoned battlefield, they thrive where we complain. And here's the twist. Many insects pack more protein than beef. World War II survival manuals trained pilots and soldiers to rely on insects when rations ran out. They learned that ants, termites, beetle larvae and grasshoppers are safe, nutritious and often abundant. Many could be eaten raw in a pinch, though roasting them makes things easier on both your stomach and your courage. Ants, for example, contain formic acid, which gives them a sour kick but also makes them surprisingly refreshing when you're dehydrated and energy-starved. Grasshoppers are heavy hitters, big, easy to catch, loaded with protein and iron. Beetle larvae hide in wood or soil and offer pure fat and calories, the kind of dense energy your body craves when you haven't eaten for days. Even termites, those tiny architecture masters building cities under our feet, provide essential amino acids. In some regions, survivors have scooped them straight from mounds to stay alive until help arrived. Where nearly everything else fails, insects endure. And if you're ever left standing in a place without fruit, without animals, without anything except your own determination, the small creatures beneath your boots may be, well, the difference between almost made it and made it back. Not all plants require thick forests or fertile ground. Some grow like the Earth's stubborn signature, scattered across continents, climates and conditions. Wherever people have travelled, soldiers marching through mud, nomads crossing plains, wanderers surviving on half hope and half instinct, these plants have been, waiting. Wild grasses, for example, are universal. While you should avoid the raw grains from some species, the tender young shoots of many common grasses are safe to chew for moisture and trace nutrients. They won't replace a meal, but they buy time. Time that has saved many lives. Cattails, when you find water, are like survival supermarkets. Their roots can be roasted. Their shoots can be eaten like vegetables. Even their pollen is rich in nutrients and can be mixed with whatever else you can find to stretch your energy supply. From the marshlands of Europe to the quiet edges of African wetlands, cattails show up like dependable friends. Dandelions, one of the most widespread plants on Earth, offer edible leaves, roots and flowers. The leaves help with vitamins. The roots, roasted or boiled, give energy. The flowers can be eaten raw or cooked. Soldiers in scattered outposts during World War II relied on them when supply lines collapsed. And then there's seaweed. If you're anywhere near a coastline, any coastline on the planet, you're standing beside one of the most abundant edible resources that has ever existed. Green, brown, red, many varieties are packed with minerals, iodine and electrolytes. Dry it, boil it, chew it raw if you must. It's been snack, medicine and lifesaver for countless castaways. Plants don't care about borders, conflict or conditions. They travel with the wind, cling to water, sprout in cracks, survive in heat and frost. And when the world looks empty, they're often the first proof that it isn't. The hidden message behind these sources isn't just eat this to survive. It's awareness. It's training your eyes to see what the untrained mind ignores. That's what veterans of World War II learned in the mud of Europe and the islands of the Pacific. They stopped seeing nature as decor and started seeing it as strategy. Trees become carbohydrate banks. Insects become walking protein bars. Plants become global allies. When you understand that, the world stops feeling empty. Even in the harshest terrain, you realize you're not fighting alone. The earth gives more than it takes, if you know how to read it. Legacy of Survival is all about sharpening instincts, keeping history alive, and giving you every edge humans have discovered through struggle. If this guide added something valuable to your mental toolkit, hit subscribe, drop a like, and share it with someone who loves learning how people stay alive when the world throws curveballs. Your support keeps this channel growing and keeps these skills alive for the next person who might need them.